Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island UK Season 12, Episode 9.
I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. You know what, Blair?
What?
I am tired of defending these weak men. It's time to get the boys off the island for real. It's really, look, if you are into someone being who is berating you, who is mean to you, and basically want to make you chase them like you a dog and things like that, then cool. If you cool with it, I'm cool with it. You ready?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this episode.
So Harry's talking to Helena, talking about he just wanted to have a laugh with Dejon. Helena's telling him that you pissed the girls off. She's not going to keep drilling it into him, but they're not happy with what's transpired with the guys.
Listen here, at the end of the day, you decided to sneak away like a child, and now you feel some type of way that you got your little boy. Harry's the little boy of the villa. That's what it is.
So Toni and Emily talk. Toni can see the closeness that Emily has with Conor. Emily does bring up how Conor brought up going to the hideaway, but they decided not to do it. And Toni's not going to cry about it. She knows her guy will come eventually, but she would like Conor she would have liked Conor to be more upfront about where he was at when it came to Emily.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Toni. Unfortunately, fortunately, it's both, right? I think you think that you are the prize, right? And that's not a bad way to think, but on this show, especially this early, I think you're just a little too timid, right? You feel like, you know what, I see this, I see that. I want to see Toni, especially since it's not even been that long. This is only the second full week that we're going into it. Put yourself out there a little bit more, especially since you're from the States. You ain't come this far to basically play the background. You get what I'm saying? I want to see her more up front.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel different about Toni. I think that Toni has a very much in-your-face personality. I feel like she tries to kind of do this, like I say, mysterious act when she's actually having conversations with the boys, but she's not actually connecting with them. Yeah. So I just don't think that her personality just gelled well with the people here, honestly. I mean, for some of the girls, she got along, but for the guys, they weren't really intrigued by her. They weren't really kind of trying to get her, know her in a romantic sense. Yeah. So we get to Lima and Romel. She thought Romel was disrespectful during the challenge. He was cracking sexual jokes, kissing Emily super hard while he was standing next to Alima. And Romel was also squeezing some booty.
Oh, okay.
Romel tells her, well, I told you that I liked you. And Alima feels like, well, your actions and your words aren't lining up. He doesn't really, and she also feels like he's not taking accountability during this conversation. Yeah. He tells her that he feels like he didn't have enough time to take accountability. They just started talking, but he observes how she handles him, and he doesn't really know if she is that into him. And Alima tells him, well, the thing is, maybe you observe too much and we're not compatible. She doesn't like the whole I'm sorry, that's how I made you feel type of apology he was trying to give her. So Alima's not feeling him right now.
Here's the thing about it. Week 2. This is week 2. And even though what happened to feeling something and not saying it? Like we need some game players on this show. And when I say game players, I mean not somebody that's on here that's going to scam and basically manipulate their way to the end, but some people that actually understand that, hey, everything I think and feel, I'm not going to say out my mouth in the moment, right? In this moment, she's ready to shut the door on this connection, knowing she don't have another connection on this island and things like that. What happened to just taking what happened and just putting it in your back pocket? You get what I'm saying? Besides giving off the feeling that you are a little bit crazy, or that you are not being, I don't want to say not being rational, but I do feel like, hey, give him time to take accountability. Until y'all get up, the conversation is not over. You get what I'm saying? But I will say it was steering the way of he wasn't going to take accountability. He was just going to explain his way out of it.
And I do think that when it comes to these people, they are taking these challenges way too serious.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a drag. And I get that Romel was doing a lot during the competition, but we don't want y'all to be dry during the challenges either. We want to see y'all have a good time and really get into it. So I guess Alima wants Romel to stand still the next time or just do pecks on the lips. Yeah. But I'm just saying, we're all still trying to get to know each other unless you guys really feel like you're closed off.
And truth be told, to your point, Blair, a lot of these challenges is going to be you kissing someone. What's usually supposed to happen is that, oh, I really wasn't chatting with this person that much. I kissed him during the challenge. Maybe there's something there. Maybe I can pull him for a chat after the fact, especially since everyone is still open.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Conor and Toni have their talk. Toni tells him, I get the hint. She heard about the hideaway situation. And Conor thought that he made it clear that he was pursuing Emily. He really didn't know how to tell her about the hideaway situation, though. Essentially, Toni's saying, remove me out the group chat. I don't want y'all coming back to me, updating me on y'all's relationship. Have at it. I'll wait for my person.
Yeah. And the reason why I feel what you feel, see, me and you feel the same way, Blair, we feel the same way, but we are splitting hairs amongst ourselves, right? The reason why I feel like Toni needs to put herself out more, especially since she's the first American on like UK show, is that she came in as a bombshell, right? If she came in as like, hey, I'm part of the cast, cool. But she was the first bombshell. So I do feel like, even though she took Conor and things of that nature, I do feel like, hey, remove me from the group chat. I understand this. I understand he's with Emily. I understand they had plans to go to the hideaway. He said no, that's disrespectful. Then eventually they do go. But my whole thing is like, I wish I would have seen Toni be more aggressive, not aggressive in personality, because she do have a upfront, in your face personality and very straight to the point. But I just wish that I would have seen her maneuver a little bit more better than how I seen her maneuver as a bombshell on Love Island UK.
Yeah. So we get to Alima and Meg.
Yeah.
Alima starts by telling Meg, look, I'm pulling you just to have a conversation. I'm really not trying to start any issues. And she's trying to figure out what has Dejon told Meg so they can get on the same page about where Dejon stands.
Yeah.
And Meg says, well, he really didn't say much. They end up pulling Dejon into the conversation, but before he gets pulled away, Yasmin is asking him, would he have a threesome with her and Toni? And he tells her, I'm gonna get back to you on that one.
Yeah.
Meg feels like he needs to be more transparent, and Dejon says he's had good chats with Alima and he's open, and he's been saying that. Meg feels like he doesn't say how he feels, and she doesn't want to be in a three-way triangle. Alima just wanted to clear the air, but she feels like she's still a bit confused after the conversation.
Listen here, contrary to popular belief, all black people do not look alike, and that is not Alima, that is Mel, right? Alima's the other girl.
Oh, I'm sorry, Melisha.
Melisha, right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing about it, right? Melisha, what do you think was her tactic of pulling and talking to Meg?
I honestly do think that she was trying to figure out where they actually stood as a couple, so she would know how to pursue Dejon without stepping on toes.
Yeah.
And I actually thought it was a good idea to bring him into the conversation, because the way that Meg was moving, it was as though people needed to get her permission before pulling him. But when he came over and said, I've been saying I'm open, it seemed like Meg had to bite her tongue a little bit, because that's not what she wanted him to say.
Yeah. And my problem with this conversation is, even though he's saying the words, I feel like his chest not out enough.
Yeah.
I feel like he's saying it in a, like, I'm not trying to make anybody upset type of way. He said, look, it's kind of like he's saying, like, we agreed, Meg, that we're open, right? It's almost as if he's kind of hinting at, like, I'm not trying to make you upset by talking to Mel, by being interested in Mel. And truth be told, I do think that the more that Mel actually see, which I do like your point, that, hey, she pulled him in and all three of them is talking, she needs to see how he talks when she's in his presence and things like that. And I do think when it comes to especially dating, or when you have interest in a guy and you kind of see how he takes the back seat and to basically whatever she wants and things like that, talking about Meg, I think it's like, I think she kind of starting to see the writing on the wall. It's almost as if the fact that I have to pull both of y'all just so I can have an open conversation and things like that. Like, I don't know if I want to be part of this love triangle any longer.
Yeah. So Conor and Emily kiss on the terrace, and they are planning to go to the hideaway tonight. They get there, they make out, they enjoy their time.
They did.
And Dejon tells Meg right before they go to bed how Yasmin brought up the comment about the threesome. So it's the next day. Tommy tells Megan that he wants to clear the air with Shay. He feels like Shay seems confused. Like, he didn't really have the full conversation the way that he intended to.
Yeah.
So Tommy grabs Shay to sit and talk to him and Megan. He apologizes for calling him names, and Shay and Megan agreed that Shay was saying that he was going to get to know the Bombshells, and him and Megan were done. That's the thing. Tommy was saying that he doesn't think Megan cut it off well enough for Shay to understand. Yeah. And Shay is just like, look, I understand we cut it off. I agree we cut it off. And he apologizes to Tommy because he wasn't trying to piss him off.
And now Tommy over here giving handshakes with his body facing the person. He's now he ain't walking away no more. Now here's the thing about it, Tommy. I'm 100% off of you now, brother. Because I don't like little boys, right? I know he probably thought like, you know what? I'm gonna nip this in the bud. You sit right here, girl. Shay, come here, and whole time tell him you don't like him.
Exactly.
Like it's like, nah, man. And here's the thing about it. Shay may not steal your girl, but trust me, if Megan is a minion of Meg, right, it's only going to be a matter of time before she start putting her foot on your neck, Tommy, and then you're not going to like her. But truth be told, I think somebody else going to steal Megan from you, Tommy, because I think you just a little too, you get a little too worked up for y'all to still be open and things of that nature.
Yeah, and I wasn't a fan of how he handled it because I felt like he was putting them in a position to confront each other in front of each other, basically. Like you said, Megan, go ahead and tell him you don't want to talk to him anymore, when the thing is, Megan said to him in that conversation too, I told you this though, Tommy.
Yeah. And
if Tommy doesn't get more secure, it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, listen, mommy ain't here.
So Meg, Tina, and Yasmin talk. Meg brings up the threesome comment that Dejon told her the day before.
Yeah.
And Yasmin said that she said it very tongue-in-cheek, and it was after he complimented them and said they look nice. Now Meg is confused because he told her, and she was in a state of shock. Yasmin also adds to the conversation, look, I kind of want to talk to Dejon, but it seems like y'all are closed off. Meg tells her we're both open. We do need to talk about what open looks like and what that means, but she can't stop anyone from having a conversation with him, and if he gets on with other girls, then that's what it is. And then she turns the conversation to him, and she's like, right, if you get on with other girls, that's what it is, right, Dejon? And he's just kind of laughing about it, and that pushes Meg away.
Here's the thing about it, right? Listen, Dejon don't understand how he looks to other islanders at this moment, right? Right now, it's just all fun and games, and he's just laughing while Meg is basically talking about, we have to define what open means, because Meg really don't care what the real definition of the word means. She go make up her own definition. We have seen her literally agree with someone while arguing with them and things of that nature, and still think they're disagreeing about something. So she contradicts herself all the time. So the fact that this girl over here, this new bombshell, is saying, hey, I would like to talk to Dejon, but it seemed like y'all closed off. She is basically telling us how the villa views them, right? And basically, you can't cross Meg. Meg is basically the HBIC of the villa. So I asked Dejon, hey, Dejon, do you want to be viewed that way? As basically like basically nobody can talk to you, no one can pull you for a conversation? Because real talk, Meg's work is already working on Dejon. He already feels like he have to take back information to Meg, even though he's having private conversations with other people, right? So he don't even understand that he's a lapdog right now, right? So that's why I'm like, I don't know if Dejon know how he's viewed and how much he's really cutting off a lot of people. There's no point of saying you're open, Dejon, when the whole time the whole villa don't want to talk to you because they feel like you're closed off.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just interesting how Meg chose to handle this conversation with Yasmin versus all the hollering, digs, and everything she did with Melisha. Very interesting. I know what's up.
Oh yeah.
And at this point, she is not going to take it out on Yasmin the way that she did with Melisha. She's going to take it out on Dejon. The other women want to get to know him.
Yeah.
So we move on to Alima and Romel. Moving forward, he's going to be mindful of being respectful. Yeah. She jokes around that he's a Sims. He's obsessed with her, and they end up kissing.
Okay, Alima. Listen, I'm just gonna take what I see. Okay, it is what it is.
I'm like, maybe it's their banter.
Maybe
I
don't get
wasn't feeling it.
Yeah,
but
I'm like,
maybe that's their banter.
Yeah.
So Meg tells Dejon that he egged on the threesome conversation. By saying that he will finish the conversation later, and he needs to go over there and tell them what he actually means by that. She asks, were you going to say that you were going to have a threesome with them? And he tells her, like, no, you need to stop being silly, and I don't need to go clarify anything because I'm not the one who made the comment. Conor and Emily are laughing because she's having this conversation in front of them, and Meg is just getting more and more tight because she's actually mad and people are seeing that she's being crazy.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts about it, Dejon, I thought you said that if the conversation with Meg didn't go well, you were going to end things.
Yeah, he said that.
The conversation actually didn't go well. And subsequently, things have gone downhill.
Since then.
Since then. So I really don't know, other than the fact of some type of privilege that she might have by being blonde, by being pretty in his eyes, or, some type of status he might think he might get by getting with Meg, or some type of way that he might be able to progress in the villa. Who knows? But I'm not seeing the connection because the girl is mean to you.
Yeah.
She's mean to you. And I don't know about the UK, but do y'all want to see them as your winners?
No, listen here. The UK has already decided that our winner on the women's side is going to be Shakira.
Loving Shakira.
I see Shakira's name all over the UK news everywhere.
I need her to hitch her ride to somebody other than Ben, though.
You don't like Ben? A lot of y'all didn't like Ben. I told you, I don't have a problem with Ben, right? Listen, it definitely won't be Harry.
Yeah.
No matter what Harry thinks, right? Now, here's the thing about what you said. I'm gonna give Dejon just a little bail out of jail, just a little bit. I think he believes that Meg is the HBIC of the villa, right? I don't think he really knows that everyone don't like Meg, though. I think it feels like everyone likes Meg, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not sure. I think I want to believe that he is hitching his ride to Meg right now because she's a villa favorite. And if he was to not pick her and things of that nature, then when it comes down to him, he won't be safe and things like that. Like, basically, people go turn against him because you voted out mom of the villa and things of that nature. So I want to believe that this guy, who is a personal trainer, right, who his father is he was a famous guy that basically played football and things like that over in the UK and things of that nature. I want to believe that this man, who is a personal trainer, whose basically career is to build people body up, self-esteem inside and out and things of that nature, have better self-esteem than he's showing to us on Love Island UK episode 8 or 9. Who knows, right? Because I refuse to believe that after what you just said, Blair, about, if the conversation goes bad, then I'm done, that there haven't been a good conversation since.
Yeah.
I refuse to believe
she talks to you crazy every time she talks to you.
I refuse to believe you really like this girl.
Yeah.
I want to believe that you're playing the game and you're like, hey, she's one of the favorites. I'm with one of the favorites, and I'm just going to buy time right now.
So Melisha pulls Dejon for a chat, asking him where his head is at. He says he still wants to get to know her, and she's thinking that the 3-person conversation they had was awkward, and she tells him she's really not a girl who's here for drama.
Yeah.
And he tells her, I will plan to pull you more because I do want to get to know you.
No, you're not. And you know why it was awkward? Because she left the conversation still confused, because you saying words, but your chest not in it.
Yeah, and your actions don't follow.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Meg is mad, like she always is.
Of course.
Talking about how she's enjoying having her own space today because she's not going to sit around and watch while Dejon talks to other girls. Well, why don't you talk to other guys?
Because other guys don't want her.
Yeah. So she says she's not going to be in a love triangle and she will not be second best.
Okay. That's fine.
Yasmin pulls Dejon for a chat. He's telling her he's not closed off. He compliments her eyes, and she looks forward to getting to know him in the future. Now, they get a text. There is a recoupling that happened, and it was Guy's choice. Ben chose Shakira.
Yeah.
Tommy chose Megan. Romel chose Alima. Conor chose Emily.
Yeah.
Harry chose Helena. Dejon chose Meg.
Of course he did.
And Shay chose Yasmin.
And the speech he gave was just full of lies. I'm like, listen here, we've been watching. When did this happen?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it's on unseen bits or whatever, but I haven't seen it. But sure, fine.
Yeah. So Shakira gets a text. Toni and Melisha are both single and vulnerable, but Harrison, a new bombshell, is waiting to go on dates with both of them. After the dates, he will decide who he wants to return to the villa with. Okay. So we see the date with Melisha first. The attraction is there. There's a lot of joking, sexual chemistry, and they're both close to their family. Yeah. For Toni's date, we learned that he's living in Boca Raton. That's where she went to college, and she's sharing just about her background and where she's currently living. He ends up feeding her a strawberry, and to me, the chemistry seemed more with Melisha than Toni.
It seemed just a little forced. It seemed just a little forced. Yep.
So we did get this little clip of a scene in between the dates between Meg and Dejon. Dejon said there was no chance that he wouldn't have picked Meg.
What?
She asked if he still wants to get to know Melisha if she ends up coming back, and Dejon says that Meg is his main priority and he will not be pulling her for chats.
He just told us that he would be pulling her for more chats.
Just a lying man.
Okay, cool.
He thinks that Meg handled things well, probably better than he did in a lot of ways. He thinks that he was probably wrong in a lot of situations, and this might be something that could work on the outside.
Here's the thing about it.
To me, he's just a liar.
Exactly, right?
Like, I don't know. I don't know what Dejon really thinks.
Listen, and guess what? And I honestly don't care, right? I want Mel to come back from this date because I want to see, is he a man of his word? He told Mel that he would pull her for more dates and things of that nature before the recoupling. Now it's after the recoupling. There's no chance I wouldn't have picked you, Meg. And guess what? I love you. And guess what? I think I can see us on the outside. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he's saying. He's saying a whole bunch of empty nothings.
Yes.
So now I want to know. I need Mel to come back. Harrison, pick Mel.
Yes.
Because I need to know if you are going to pull this girl for any more dates and things of that nature. And how would it, and I want to hear how Meg is going to talk to you, because last time I checked, she basically said that you are lucky to be with her. You get what I'm saying? On the first episode, she wasn't really happy to be with you to begin with. And all this time, you basically been her footstool. So now I need to know how true is it that you can really see this on the outside, because I don't believe you.
Yeah. And that's where we end.
Listen here, I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Listen, if these little boys on this show want to basically appease the people that they with, Tommy over here acting insecure and things of that nature, Dejon over here acting like a man with no self-esteem, a man with muscles with no self-esteem and things of that nature, guess what? I'm just going to sit back and just agree with what you're saying. Other than that, I see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.